are back at Movie World for Fright Nights. I am here, luckily enough, because this whole, what I like to call the front row of parking is completely full. I think I got the last front row park that there was, which is funny. Sorry, my finger was covering you guys there. So happy Saturday! I hope you had an amazing week. It was sunny up here and so everything was good. I'm in the last rounds of uni, so we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. And I have gotten rid of most of the mop, which is something that I had been planning on doing for a while, so yeah. I'm doing the intro in the car rather than over there. I was planning on doing it over there on Thursday, from up to Thursday. I was actually going to do commentary in the park this time, but yeah, the announcement came out that this was also a sold out event. Fast Track is sold out, so there is going to be long lines, a lot of people, and there is an 80% chance that is going to be some copyrighted music. So I don't want to lose some of this video for you guys, so we shall just have to experience it all together, and hopefully I can make this enjoyable for you guys. I was really hoping that this wasn't going to be a sold out event, but it is, so we can't change that. To all those who are here today, hello. If I don't see you in there, or if I'm too anxiety shy, I do apologize. Hello, how are you? Happy birthday, and all that fun stuff. Hope you have fun on the Terror Tour and all the extras that you may have bought. So I'm going to head over to the entrance. It's only 10 to 5 at the moment. They open the park via their website. It says they open their park half an hour prior to the event. Whether they do that exactly half an hour, I'm not completely sure. But we'll just have to wait and see. There are still day guests in there when I was driving in, so obviously the park isn't closed yet. That'll probably be at 5. Sorry, I'm a bit shaky today, so hopefully this video doesn't come out badly with all me shaking. Before I forget, there is shirts available if you want to help out, help me get to places and such like that. If you want me to go somewhere, let me know, and I'll try and get there. This is all for you guys. I just a pre-note before all this, so hi to all the new people who may watch my videos, but basically the premises of my videos is that I moved to the Gold Coast the beginning of this year, and I don't have anybody really down here that I spend a lot of time with. As you can see, there's nobody in my passenger seat, so Brody is not here with me this year. Person that I wanted to come to Fright Nights with didn't want to come, so it's just me. There's nobody else, so I come to this and film for you guys. So if there's anything that you want to see, please let me know in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, so I know what you guys want to watch. So like I was saying, shirts available at spreadshirt.shop, or is it shop.spreadshirt.candyk, real Candy K. I'll leave it in the comment section below, in the description section below. I believe there is a code for free shipping. I'm not sure whether that includes international shipping, so I do apologize. And the prices are in US dollars, so I know I want to purchase my own tank top, but with the Australian dollar at the moment, it's not kind of happening. So maybe one day in the future I might actually be able to buy my own shirt. So we shall head over and start this experience of Fright Nights 2016. Hopefully we can get to most mazes. I'm going to try, I believe it's called Catatonic. the Asylum VR experience. Hopefully, if I figure out where to buy and how to do it. And let's do this, guys. Come along with me.
Or Robert England? Who was it?
Robert England.
Robert England, is that your final answer?
Yes.
It's absolutely correct. Well done! Take that, put it on your list, you're jumping through queues to get into mazes. Its number is 666.
Welcome, and so it is that his work shall indeed be done. Right here, tonight. Look at you all. So we've been brought to a night of fear and horror. Well, my little souls, prepare to enter the world of the Gatekeeper. A world where almost anything can happen to anyone. At any moment. Let us bring on the darkness.
Obviously not.
So I look pretty dodgy right now. I am trying to get out of the Movie World car park. Finally out. My glasses on. I actually look pretty sweet if I say myself. First time I've seen Movie World do this. They had 2 separate exits, which I thought was pretty good. Although it was still pretty shitty just trying to get out of the car park. How would I describe this year's Fright Night? One of the songs played at the end rave, which really had no reason. I'm going to call the theming of this year for just general public. First, let me take a selfie. I actually sat between about the time of 9 o'clock and 9:40 watching the Halloween precinct, which, by the way, how does 4 clowns equal a Halloween precinct? This field felt very underfilled, especially the Day of the Dead area. 2 or 3 people in that area, 2 of those being these massive puppet things. What the, like, I don't understand why they can't fill these areas. They're huge areas. They could be themed so much better with more people. Good example of that is this year's Universal in Orlando, the where it's the 1950s vampires. That area is filled with not only vampires but normal people. I don't understand how this area could be underfilled. It's ridiculous. The amount of people who show up for auditions and get turned down, and yet these people, these areas, have either face paint on or masks. So why can't these areas be filled? If you're going to put masks on people, like plastic cheap ass masks, I don't understand why they can't be filled. It comes back to the comment about not having enough budget to hire people to fill these areas. It is starting to become one of the best known events for Movie World, yet they cannot fill these areas. But then on the general public side, it was ridiculous watching these under 18-year-olds. I'm gonna say they were about 15, so they meet the criteria based on Movie World's website of being not suitable of under 14. But in saying that, there are a mass load of toddlers there tonight, including when I went into the Conjuring. Like, I don't understand general public's idea. I watched for an hour a whole lot of preteens and teens go, hey, I need a selfie. Like, it wasn't even, please, can I have a picture? It was like, can I have a selfie? I want a selfie. They were rude, and they just pulled these people out of those areas, out of character, to stand still. And within that hour that I watched these clowns, mass groups of people just started surrounding them. Like, it was so disjointed this year. Last year I didn't notice it as much, but this year it is so disjointed from everything. I feel that they need to have some nights that are just for over 18s. Like, I feel that is what's needed at this point. Because the amount of under 18s that were just like, here's a selfie, I'm gonna scream and then run off 100 miles, almost running into other people. Like, these scare actors are told not to actually physically bump into people. That's what one of the parts in the audition is. Do not bump into people. So when these preteens are just like, ah, just ridiculous. Alrighty, so it is the next day. It is now Sunday, so happy Sunday. I did do a little bit of an explanation last night, but we were driving in the dark, so you couldn't exactly see me. And when I got home, everybody was asleep, so I'll try and make sense of what I was trying to say last night. I did also ramble, so hopefully this won't be as rambly. So my first point is, I was very disappointed this year. Like, compared to last year, this was just bad. The mazes were good. I'm not going to take that away from them. One of the mazes that I did, I only did the 2, so I did the Conjuring 2 and From Dusk Till Dawn. Apparently Dusk Till Dawn is a TV series. I didn't know that, so I don't know where it's available. Maybe it's on Stan or something like that. Just Conjuring 2 was amazing, I think, purely because it was one of the largest mazes. It was in the old TV studio where the old Wild West area was, and now Doomsday in that DC Villains area is. Lots of jump scares, that's all it had going for it. The scenes were good in most of them, although some of them they could have done so much more. Also, the Dusk Till Dawn, I laughed all the way through it. Like, I know I am a big horror fan, but there was one particular room that I was like, are they for real? There was literally 3 girls dressed as vampires hiding behind tables. But they weren't hiding, they were just standing there. And it wasn't at any point scary. Like, you could see them from a mile away. So I don't know what was going on there. The precincts were very disappointing. When I saw that they were going to have a Halloween precinct, which is another licensed movie that is Universal, I believe, I thought they were going to do something great. Unfortunately, that whole area had a total of 5 clowns, well, people with differentiating masks, wielding different kind of weapons, and I think it's 3 of them, 3 of what I like to call the sliders, the guys who are dressed as the red demons, or red demon people who just slide across the ground and jump scare and such like that. At no point to me did that feel anything like Halloween. I don't know what the hell was going on in that area. That was in front of the Roxy Theatre, all the way down to, I'm going to say, the fountain. That did not have enough scare actors in that precinct to even call it a licensed precinct. I don't know whether Movie World and Village Roadshow just don't have the budget to hire mass people, but I found that in another precinct as well, the Apparitions, or what it was called, behind Scooby-Doo, going into Arkham, the old Lethal Weapon area, that back area that used to be the Chinese precinct, had a total of 4 people as scare actors in that area when I walked through. One was sitting in the car as a jump scare. The other 3 were just roamers. So a total of 4 people in that area. Still didn't feel that small ass area. So my feelings, it's gone down to budget constraints. And although Chris, who hires the scare actors, say they have licenses and they need to fill particular roles for particular people, which I can understand for the mazes, the scare precincts need more people. For example, if you look at any of the vlogs, or especially the trackers, Tim Tracker and Jen Tracker, their trips to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, you can see how many people fill those areas. The Halloween precinct, I don't believe I've ever seen any of those characters in any of the Halloween movies. So I just didn't understand that. I was very disappointed in the precincts. Another thing I was disappointed in was that the VR experience that I was looking forward to, Catatonic, with the asylum theming, they are no longer having those at all for Fright Nights. I don't know whether that started last weekend or if it was this weekend. They've also taken down their social media posts from Facebook about Catatonic. And guest services couldn't really give me an explanation. They just said they're no longer running it. So that was slightly disappointing from somebody who was looking forward to that. They might want to take that off their website too, because it still shows as an extra experience on the Fright Nights website. Up points though, they had the IV cocktail bags back. which if you're over 18, that is a good time. They also had face painting, which obviously I'm not wearing right now. I had it on and went to bed and was just like, I'll take it off in the morning, but at about 2 o'clock in the morning I could feel my skin just starting to dry up and just die while having face paint on, and it also came with, I think it was fake blood, so I didn't want to get that on my sheet, so I did have to take that off, and it was a hard job just trying to get that off, but it was totally worth the money because it looked great, and even one of the security guards said it looked pretty awesome. So if that's something you're into, I did get lots of compliments, so that out. Down point, I know there's not many up points. I just really did not enjoy this year. A down point from just general public actions, it just feels like I'm a grumpy old woman these days. But first point, the website says not suitable for children under 14. The amount of toddlers and prams I saw last night with children under the age of 10 was insane. I don't know what people think. It's not a family event. It's not meant to be a family event. If you want a family event, go to Dreamworld or SeaWorld. They have those available, especially if you want to do trick-or-treating. Both of them have trick-or-treating this year. Big anger for me was the amount of teens or under 20s, I want to even say under 18s that were there. That first of all, when they did the rope walk, at about 5 o'clock you can go into the park and you go to your first rope. People thought that we were moving past that rope at 5 o'clock. We weren't moving, so I don't understand why I was being pushed for people trying to get to the front where there was a rope. We then moved forward again at 5:30, and it reminded me of going to concerts and mosh pits and just being trampled. The amount of teens and under 18s that were pushing to get to the front. I don't know where the hell you were thinking you were going, because nowhere was going to be open until 6 o'clock, even after 6 o'clock, because if you have never been to a Fright Nights, they always have an opening, which takes about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes to introduce Fright Nights, which I still couldn't understand what the hell was going on this year. There was a random devil's advocate guy who played guitar and sang, and then they had the gatekeeper again. And what I liked about last year is that they had a similar thing this year, but it just didn't make sense this year, when they just went, they let loose all the characters and they just run down and cause havoc and scare people, which was fun, but it just didn't make sense this year. So the year just didn't make sense. I feel like they need to take a book out of Universal and have a distinctive theme. I don't care if that's the gatekeeper every single year with some new fancy monster, but it needs to have a constant theme. Last year, the end had a idea to it. They had all the characters come back into a central area and had the party for them, which is understandable. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed all those scare actors just having fun at the end of the night, because it's an exhausting job. Yet this year we all kind of sat and got ready for this end thing, and it was just a rave party for a good 10 minutes, and I was, by 2 minutes in, I could not see any scare actors apart from a few groups here and there and a few just wandering around. They weren't having fun, and that to me was slightly disappointing, but I don't know whether that's because they were, the whole thing was focused on the paying people coming in, but I just didn't enjoy that. Nobody was dancing. Like, you had a few people who were bopping along to whatever stupid track they were playing, but they didn't exactly look like they were having fun. But back to my thought now, it comes back to me. Under 18s, what the hell were you doing? I don't understand what the premise was for being fake scared. I sat in the Halloween precinct for about an hour watching young female teenagers go, "I need a selfie," and then randomly screaming and running off. Like, the whole thing with areas like that, you shouldn't have mass people waiting to get a selfie with a scare actor. Like, one of the clown dudes ended up just sitting on the ground, and there was a mass circle of people around him, and then randomly people would sit down with him and take a photo. Like, they're meant to be roaming, they're meant to be scaring, they're not there to take selfies. And that annoyed me the most, because especially the people who didn't want to be in those areas, genuinely didn't want to be in those areas, who were trying to get past, could not get past. I don't know. It just didn't feel smooth, it didn't feel right, and thankfully I didn't have to pay for it. It came with my premiere pass, but I really hope they step up their game next year, because that was disappointing, especially being... So yeah, they need to kind of clean what mess they had up, especially since it was the second, since it was the mid-weekend. They should have had all their floors cleaned up by now, but it was still a mess. There wasn't enough people to be scare actors, even though they have about 7,000 people apply. They just don't have enough people in those areas to really scare people. Yeah, so I was very disappointed, and I wasn't holding it to Universal's standard, because they obviously have it down pat for many years, but it was just disappointing compared to last year. So hope you have a great week, and I shall see you next week on the flip side. Bye guys.